Hello, every people. It is your witch, Morgan, back at it again. After a bit of a break, I was on vacation with Cookie Dough, the girlf. And we had an amazing time, and I saw big ugly tears in the airport when we said goodbye. But we were at a Anime Blues Con. Pretty cool place. Got to see a cosplay strip show. That was awesome. And I bought a bunch of cool stuff. As it goes. And welcome in, everyone. Hello, Zasako. Hello, Ed. Hello, Zorilla. Hi, Cookie. Welcome in, Skullkaya Ami. Welcome, welcome. So this is I'm Making a Monster, what I'm hoping will be a Dr. Moreau type simulator. Yeah, I was just being formal. You're still Zilla. Content warnings. This game includes grief, alcohol consumption, use of distractions to run from issues, self-neglect, not eating or resting, discussions of therapy and optional therapy visits, friend-staged intervention in some routes. So it's that type of game. Of course my room suddenly decides to feel like it's 5 degrees warmer once I start streaming, of course. Anyway. Oh! Umber Kaiju, thanks for the donation. What the hell? Anyway, character maker. Got all sorts of pronouns, hell yeah. Okay, we're doing this already? That was fast. Change pronoun every time, that's good. She likes to walk in the park, but doesn't want anyone to talk to her. His hair gets wet from the rain. Morgan hadn't realized it was raining. She keeps walking anyways. Fatter witch, don't try to seem too unenthused by that. Hold up. All right. Is this what you want? To see me sweat and jiggle all about? Like some pig? The pig of your entertainment? I jest. Okay. Morgan Armstrong has been shut in its room for a month. She has not eaten a proper meal in more than a week. It has only drunk water under extreme duress. Today, Morgan opens the door to her room of its own volition, an occurrence her friends will be equally excited and nervous about, and stumbles from its dark depths with a dehydrated wobble to its step. Fumbling for some scrap paper and tearing the lid off a pen, Morgan drops onto a stool and begins to sketch. Fervent ink splatter onto page after page in unsteady strokes. Do you miss ass-specific whitening, though? Someday, I'll be able to hit up Tweetabot to make that version of the model, or I can switch back to the old one, if you really want. We already I watched a single ad. Yeah, you can thank Zilla for that. After many hours, during which friends come over and find Morgan, or leave to see her out of its room and then distraught again to find Morgan unable to tear herself from work, Morgan holds up a final page of formulas and diagrams. Exclaim in triumph or wallow in despair. Asuka, what would be the Dr. Moreau thing to do here? Would she be triumphant or... Yeah, I agree. Yes, it says. It can be done. Morgan almost bounces up from the stool, but she lacks the energy or coordination. Instead, it settles for lifting the page up, beaming at her work. What can be done? Morgan jumps at the sound, almost falling over in the process. It had not noticed that a friend had crept into her kitchen while it worked. Wallowing despair is for when an experiment fails or when she has to endure 5 minutes no wife. Mood, though. Real. Me when I have to endure any amount of time without a girlfriend or girl thing. I had not noticed that a friend had crept into her kitchen while it worked. Abella leans out from the doorway, mixing bowl in hand, trying to hide her worry behind a smile. Morgan does not try to hide her rising excitement. Oh, Abella, it says, I'm going to make something unlike anything I've ever made. Bella continues stirring, waiting. She has played this game before. I already read that. Make something beautiful. Make something horrific. Make something redemptive. Make something reprehensible. These are all good adjectives. I make something horrific. I'm making, Morgan continues, something horrific. Abella raises an eyebrow. Tell the truth, or lie. I'm making a monster. Abella nods, trying to hide her mounting concern. Belle leaves shortly after that, depositing a salad Morgan promised to eat onto her work table. Eat some salad. Eat some salad. There is no time for salad! Creating a living being is an exhaustingly complex venture, but Morgan is nothing if not tenacious. It pursued her lifelong exile with the same work resolve. It now turns to her work, Nothing will make Morgan waver from this task. It is making a monster. But where to start? A monster needs many parts. I mean, yeah, skin's important, but that comes after. The skeleton. It's always safe to start with the base. Morgan pulls out her notes on forming the monster's bones. Morgan considers the best way to build a monster's bones. Necromancy, plant magic. Oh. Necromancy, plant magic, or mechatronics. Yeah, I'm doing well. This is the best I've felt in over a month, honestly. I need my Lancer group DMs to be quiet for a bit. Hopefully. What are we feeling here? I'm not sure, I haven't decided. Necromancy. Using death magic to make the monster's skeleton would work. It is a classic solution to the problem, but sometimes the obvious path is the best. Making a skeleton of bones will of course require, well, bones. And considering Morgan wasn't planning to use its own, she needs another solution. For a second I misread that and thought it said I was going to use my own bones. But no, the opposite. Scrounge bones. Make bones in a lab. I don't want to become the grave robbing witch from Tumblr, so let's make some in the lab. With enough time and effort, Morgan can lab grow the bone. It'll be slower than finding bones to use, but less morally ambiguous. Additionally, Morgan can ensure quality is up to its precise standards. Morgan estimates this should take her 5 months to complete. Yeesh. After a month of work, Abella visits again. She warily looks around the lab Morgan has set up. How is the, monster coming along? It's going well. Oh, it's going quite well. I'm making excellent progress on the monster's bones. I see, says Isabella, fighting me. Maintain a neutral tone. She takes a breath. It's warm out today. How about we go for a walk? On the verge of a breakthrough. It is only 1 month into like a 5-month process. You can go for a walk. Yeah, okay, Morgan says, standing from her stool. Let me grab my coat. You don't need a coat. It's June. Morgan looks over from the closet it was rustling in. She furrows her brows. June? Mm-hmm. It's probably for the best that Morgan is leaving the apartment. Bella brings Morgan to a park she used to frequent before. She was right. The weather is gorgeous. A warm breeze ruffles through the tree canopy that frames the worn path the two walk along. Morgan and Bella catch up on small things. Max has developed a spell to remove excess earwax. Corey has joined a jazz band. Hey, you think you could lend me that earwax spell? Morgan slowly realizes that it misses her friends. Asks to meet again, or it can't make plans, just work. This is really nice, Isabella. Thanks for dragging me outside. Would it be alright if we did something like this again? A huge grin breaks across Isabella's face. Of course. I'll see you soon. Morgan's into the second month of its work when she hits a snag. The skeleton bones aren't connecting as planned. You'll need to figure out a new strategy for attaching them. This will add a month to her work estimate. Morgan's in the middle of some complicated calculations when Corey bounds through its front door unannounced. Maybe Morgan should start locking it. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. You coming to the concert? Corey asks. Who are you? What concert? What concert? Morgan replies, barely looking up from her work. Oh, come on. I joined a jazz band? We're doing a midsummer performance. Any of this ringing any bells? Not in the least. Sorry. Corey sighs loudly. We're performing July 21st. Here's a ticket. A small rectangular sheet is dropped onto Morgan's desk. See you there? I don't like concerts. It needs to work. Morgan grimaces, upset to be laying down a friend. I'm sorry, but the work, you know. No, I don't know. Try to explain. Corey, please, is really important. What are you working on anyways? Corey asks, frustration mounting. I'm making a monster. Morgan explains. What does that mean? Change topics. Hope your concert goes well. Thanks. Corey replies tersely. He slams the door on his way out. Drama queen. After a week of struggling with a new synthetic cartilage mixture, Morgan finally gets part of the skeleton working to her satisfaction. It turns to share the breakthrough but the lab is empty. Morgan is still alone. One morning, Morgan's distracted by a knock at her door. This is odd because most of its friends don't bother knocking. Tentatively interest drawn by the mystery, Morgan crosses the room and cracks it open. Standing near her threshold is Lakshmi, a friend Morgan hasn't seen in more than a year. She smiles at Morgan a bit nervously. Hi, she says. Do you have a minute? Nope, too busy for guests today. I'll invite her in. Of course. Please come in. Morgan steps aside, motioning her forwards. No need. I just stopped by to see if you're free tonight. I'm showing in an art exhibit, and I wanted to ask if you can make it. Your eyes are hopeful. That sounds cool. That sounds really fun. I'd love to come by and see your work. She smiles largely. Amazing. Here's the invitation. She hands Morgan a small card. It raises an eyebrow. Very fancy, she teases. Lakshmi smiles, a bit embarrassed. I'll see you then, she says. Your exhibit is very cool, if not a bit too formal for Morgan's taste. Several artists are being featured. Lakshmi's work is a mixture of wire statues that move subtly when they're not being watched. It is gorgeously terrifying. Morgan spots Bella and Corey, and the three of them walk around commenting on different pieces, despairing over their prices. Happy to see you outside your lab, Bella says as the night winds to an end. See you again? Corey asks. Let's not make any promises. I'm not sure. What with work and everything, Morgan explains. It's always work, Corey starts, but Bella nudges him. That's fine. I'll stop by to see how you're doing soon. There are 3 months left in building the monster skeleton. Morgan feels that it is on a roll. All the theories actualizing with an ease that is relieving, unexpected, entirely pleasing. Morgan realizes she's ahead of schedule, and it can reduce her work estimate by a month. A month elapses. One day, Morgan looks up from his work to see Bella walking in. She looks at the bones. She's almost finished and immediately looks away. She turns her gaze instead to Morgan. It's the last warm day of the year, she says. Come to the beach with me. The beach. I go head out. Hope you have a wonderful stream. Yeah, you take care, Zilla. Perhaps I'll catch you lurking in another stream later. My progress is going well. And I would like to see a Bella again, but the fucking beach. Also, why is there this sticky spot on my keyboard? Gross. Anyway. Another time, Abella. I'm sorry. I'm just right in the middle of something very delicate. He doesn't try to argue or hide her disappointment. Okay, Morgan. Good luck with whatever this is. He gestures to the bones without looking and leaves. Work continues with its usual ups and downs, but Morgan can tell the end is in sight. Anticipation rises as it visualizes the remaining skeleton parts coming together. Morgan is working late one night, or is it early one morning, when Max comes barging through her front door. Hello, he says. I need help with some work that's got your name on it. Ask him to explain. With great pain, Morgan tears her eyes from the diagram it's halfway through drawing. What is it? I'm gonna make the best haunted house this world has ever seen, Max declares loudly. Since when does Max build haunted houses? Excuse me. 1983 Volkswagen Golf GTI. I don't think I've ever seen you in chat before. But thank you for lurking. I thought you were busy curing earwax or something. What? No, that was 6 months ago. I'm working as a haunted house contractor now. Morgan is a little shaken at that. 6 months. Okay, wait, let me back up. So, haunted house. What do all haunted houses need? Something haunting it? Ghosts? No, wrong. Haunted houses need skeletons. Max exclaims joyfully. Do you know who can make skeletons? No, Morgan, sir. That's right, you. You can make skeletons, or at least make them move. Actually, I don't know. Can you make or move skeletons? Admit to bone control proficiency. Even if she knew how, it is busy with work. Tried desperately to change the topic. I actually am working with bones currently. Max is he, him, actually, which is a little awkward considering this is my dead name. But the work beckons so sweetly. Fine. Okay, Morgan concedes. I'll help you with your haunted house skeletons. Huge smile spreads across Max's face. Promise you won't regret it. I mean, okay, but I probably will. Oh wow, when Radio TV's streaming Dark and Darker again. Season of the Whiz Pig? Cool, man. After a few weeks of work on the synthetic skeletons, which Morgan actually finds somewhat enlightening and decides to bring concepts from into her own monster crafting, the haunted house is ready. Morgan and Max hide and watch customers scream as they realize the skeletons are moving towards them without strings. The dancing skeleton who offers to waltz is Morgan's favorite. Max likes someone who walks along the ceiling and chatters its teeth. All of Max's coworkers are duly impressed, and Morgan is invited to their dinner to celebrate the haunted house's success. It's a really fun evening that feels well earned. After 5 months, Morgan has finally completed the monster's bones. Yep, that's a spine, alright. A small thrill flows through it. She steps back and examines its work. Yes, it's definitely something horrific. But her growing smile falters in the face of a startling thought. Would she have liked it? Yes, of course. Yes, of course she would have liked it. She would have found it beautiful, fascinating, breathtaking. She may have even loved it. Morgan returns to its notes. She needs to decide which part of the monster to construct next. The nervous system. After completing the bones, a brain and nervous system will allow the monster to move and think. Morgan should make it next to ensure it interfaces well with the rest of the body. Morgan ponders what the best material is for the task. More necromancy? Plant magic? Mechatronics? An organic plant brain will allow for versatility and durability. It's also probably the most long-lasting option, capable of regenerating itself. Finding the right plants to use could pose a challenge, though. Give me a second. And back. Sorry about that. Finding the right plants to use could pose a challenge, though. Find the plants or grow them. How does one just find a plant that would make a good brain? That would get me outside more, which I think my friends would like. Morgan picks up the phone to call up someone it thinks could have a lead on finding plants and then pauses. She hasn't spoken with this person in a while. Morgan doubts they'd suddenly want to hear from it now. She puts down the phone. Growing the plant itself would be more than sufficient for our purposes anyway. Oh, okay. Morgan has never grown vines to imitate human organs, but it's played around with growing smaller plants with unusual purposes. And as her teachers used to say, anything is possible with a little, or a shit ton, of magic. It'll take more time than finding suitable plants, but means Morgan won't need to compromise on its design. Overall, Morgan estimates it should take her 6 months to complete the work. 6 months? It's about to be a year, girl. Which I guess when you're making an entire person, I guess that would take a while. When Morgan next leaves its room after a fitful rest, Belle is waiting in her kitchen. She's made breakfast from scratch, and it's waiting ready on the table. Sit, she says. Eat. She pours 2 cups of tea and takes the empty seat across from the food. You're not eating? Morgan asks. I'm going to be talking. Think of Bella. Thank you for making me breakfast. This is very sweet of you. She smiles. I'm trying to butter you up. Come, sit. Morgan pulls out the chair and sits down across from her. I mean, it took Dr. Moreau a total of like 20 years to get it right. You know what? Fair. To begin, Bella says, I'm worried about you. Feels like you're only eating when someone is here to make you. You almost never leave home. I know your work's important to you. This isn't healthy, Morgan. We suggest then not work? So what then? I should stop working? Go out more? I'm not telling you to stop. Just maybe think about how it's taken over your life. You have other responsibilities you need to be tending to, like looking after your body as a non-random example. The work is... I know, it's very important to you. I understand that. Again, I'm not telling you to stop. Bella pauses and takes a slow breath. I don't want to argue with you. It's just... It hurt us all, what happened. And it feels like we lost you as a part of it. I miss you. I miss how we used to be. You used to come to our Sunday brunches or Friday movie nights. You'd invite us over to play board games. Now if I want to see you, it feels like I have to force you into it. You feel like a shadow of who you used to be. You had such a curiosity and wonder about the world. That's still part of it. That's still part of me. In me. I'm just applying it all to the work. I'm sorry that I don't have the same time or energy for you as before. But once the work is done... That's what you always say. Once the work is done. Why do you think things will be different then? When's the last time you left your apartment? Or spent time with someone who wasn't barging in uninvited? Last week? Last week, I saw Lakshmi. Okay, Morgan. She rubbed a tired hand across her face. You make me worried knowing you're alone most of the time. I'm constantly worrying about you eating, sleeping. You're not talking to any of us about what you're doing here all day. You need to talk to someone. I don't care if it's me. Just talk to someone, please. Okay, it will. Okay, Abella. I understand. I'll find someone to talk to. Her brief smile spreads across her face. Thank you. That means a lot to hear. Let me know if you want to talk or need help finding someone. I will. Bella stays until Morgan finishes eating. She suspects it's to make sure it finishes most of the plate, but she won't confirm or deny it. As she makes her way out, she offers a final smile. This conversation won't stop me from coming by you now. Morgan offers an acknowledging noise, but doesn't say more. She makes its goodbyes and shut the door behind her. Morgan hits a breakthrough in her work. The plant brain's pattern recognition is progressing far above expectations, as are the volume peripheral nervous system's response times. The advances put it about a month ahead of schedule. Morgan is ecstatic. Before Morgan realizes it, the year is over. It's been almost 9 months since. Morgan examines the letter in her hand. It's from Abella. She's inviting it to a New Year's party she's hosting. Behind the open letter, the huge pile of work on her desk looms. It had hoped to finish prototyping a new design for a connecting piece this week. Okay, we'll go to the party to keep Bella off our back. Morgan's been working diligently, keeping long hours, and taking a little time to rest. She can spare the time for a break this evening. It calls up Abella and let her know she'll be making it. She'll be able to make it. She sounds very pleased, and it makes Morgan smile. Morgan arrives at Abella's party in fancy clothes that pinch a little. How am I fat if I'm barely eating? Bella opens the door with a huge grin, and Morgan promptly shoves a bottle of champagne in her face. Thank you for inviting me, it says. I know I haven't been a great friend recently. Nonsense, Abella exclaims. Thank you for coming. She takes the champagne and then Morgan's coat, showing her inside. What follows is a fun night of reminiscing and declaring next year promises. The only awkward moment is when someone, whose friend's a friend of Morgan's, mentions Delaney. The room falls silent briefly as someone else pulls this friend of a friend away. Morgan can very clearly hear them having a terse conversation about not mentioning her in Morgan's presence. Morgan resolutely ignores this. Soon after, it notices Max and Abella watching her like it might break into a million pieces. Morgan also resolutely ignores this. Corey comes over with a fresh glass of champagne. and they all toast the friendship, and everything is fine after that. Or at least, that's what Morgan tells herself. The room counts down to midnight and erupts in cheers and hugs. Morgan sends sparks flying over the champagne flutes. Much to the party's enjoyment and Abella's nervousness. She double-checked with Morgan that it was safe to drink, at least a dozen times before letting her guests toast. It was pretty cool, though. After midnight, many of the guests begin making their goodbyes and heading home. The party slowly grows quieter and warmer. Go home. Tomorrow brings another long day of work. Morgan thanks Abella for inviting it, compliments her hosting, and leaves to head home. The snow is mostly slush and mud beneath her boots. The walk to the bus solitary and cold. It returns to a dark and empty apartment and takes solace in what's being formed by her hands. Morgan tries to sleep and wonders at the aching in its chest. The work progresses steadily. With each milestone reached, she feels itself growing closer to her creation. Morgan knows how she'll think, what will make her feel. It tries not to hope too much about what she'll understand. On January 14th, Morgan realizes it's Abella's birthday tomorrow. She glances over at its phone. It's probably not too late to make plans. Morgan opens her phone and calls Max. A picks up on the second ring. Am I dead, or is this not a call from the renowned hermit, Morgan Armstrong? No, this is your landlord. I'm kicking you out in order to fill your place with rubber ducks. The monarch of humor returns at last, cries Max. Yes, thank you. Jokes aside, I'm calling about Abella's birthday. The very birthday that is in fact tomorrow, Max replies. Yes, that's the one. Well, you're in luck, because I've already made all the plans. We're meeting at Corey's tomorrow at 2. Max reads the list of series of events that Morgan realizes will take up the entire rest of its afternoon and evening. This is too big a commitment. What were she thinking? A birthday party? More like a fuck shit party? What was she thinking? Agree to join for part of the evening. Agree to the whole evening. Sounds great. I'll be there. Amazing! Bella will be so happy you can make it. Morgan can hear Air smile through the phone. Damn, Max got multi-pronouns. That's pretty epic. Morgan has a really enjoyable afternoon with its friends. They play some party games at Corey's, and then go see a movie. There are too many aliens and laser beams in the film for Morgan's liking, but Abella loves it. The evening concludes with a visit to Abella's favorite restaurant. Morgan finds herself smiling and laughing more than it has in a long time. At the end of the evening, Abella gives Morgan a huge hug. Thank you so much for coming. It really means a lot to me. When Morgan gets home, the scattered pieces of the monster are waiting for her. Guilt rises, sudden and overwhelming. How could it have been out for so long and just left her like this? She gazes at her part-made form, and, as a sinner before its God, promises to do better. And yet, a small part of her starts to wonder if maybe it's already giving enough. Okay, I went to the New Year's party, I went to her birthday. That's enough brownie points. Morgan spends some time testing the nervous system, watching his inputs are translated to outputs and back. Watching different parts light up and process information. She layers together webs connecting nodes, creating meaning interlinked. It knows, with as much certainty as she's had about anything, that the monster can awaken, and when she does, she will know all. One day, while in the middle of some very complicated calculations, Morgan gets a text from Abella. It reads, "Got him in? It's important." Then Morgan's phone starts to ring. Hi, Bella. What's up? Hi. Is it an alright time? I want to revisit our conversation about talking to someone for help. I'm listening, Morgan says tentatively. Thank you. I found someone I think could be really great for you. I'm just asking you to give them a try. Therapy. Therapy will horribly eat into the schedule. I don't know, Bella. Maybe later, they say. Okay, Bella says. She doesn't sound reassured. The next month of work is a bit frantic. Morgan hit a snag and works doubly hard to make up for lost time. It's still aiming to be done in 1 month. Bella turns up in Morgan's living room and hands her a bowl of soup. This is a bribe. I'd like to talk, she says. Morgan wonders if this has become her new MO. Morgan takes the soup and sits down. Alright, she says warily. I know we talked about you seeing someone, but you still haven't. You're not doing well. I think keeping everything trapped within yourself isn't helping. I think it would help if you met with a professional. How many times does Morgan need to say no? It's too busy. Bella, I know you mean well, but I really don't have time for this. I'm doing fine. I don't need therapy. I think we both know that's not true. Morgan sighs. I don't want to argue with you. I don't have time for this. I need to get back to work. Morgan, come back another time, Abella. Morgan walks out of the room, leaving Abella standing alone in her living room. Finally, after 5 months of work, the monster's brain is complete. Morgan steps back and takes a look at its work so far. The bone skeleton, paired with the vine nervous system, is breathtaking. But Morgan notices flaws here and there. The work isn't good enough. She begins to doubt if what it's making will even come close to what she had envisioned. With the final piece, everything will coalesce or come apart. No matter. Morgan isn't one to not finish what it started. All that remains is the monster's skin. The flesh will cover the monster, finally allowing it to exist in its full glory. Now to choose the method by which she shall complete the monster. Using organic skin is a classic and time-tested solution. Morgan checks its notes and realizes she's going to need a lot of organic material to make this work. Morgan scans through its contact list, quickly identifying a few people she thinks could help. On the third try, she finally connects with someone who knows where can find what she needs. With the materials, Morgan thinks to complete the skin in 2 months. On April 2nd, Morgan packs a small bag. She includes water, a candy bar, an umbrella, its keys, and her wallet. It takes a considering look at her phone. It wants to be alone today. Morgan leaves her phone on its desk, throws her bag over its shoulder, and walks out the door. The walk to the cemetery is long. Morgan doesn't mind it. When she gets there, it realizes she doesn't know where to go. It's never been before. After a little while of meandering, she finds a groundskeeper who points in the right direction. Soon after that, she finds the grave. Delaney's grave. Morgan sits down in front of the grave and watches it silently for a while. Finally, she speaks. I really miss you. It's hard being here without you. I haven't been doing so many things outside of my work, but work has been good. I'm working on a really cool project. It's been helping. I miss you deeply. I just want you to come back. I know that can never happen, but that doesn't stop me from wanting it. I'm half made again. I'm weak and faulty without you. You made me better, and now I'm lost. The work that I'm doing, I'm building a monster. It's for you. I know it won't be you. It probably won't be anything like you. But when you died, it felt like you took a part of me with you. I'm trying to get that piece back. I know this monster won't be able to do that, but in my heart, I feel like it could. The monster will be horrific, and it's all for you. I hope you hate it. Morgan wipes at its tears and gets up. She rummages in its bag, pulling out the candy bar and leaving it atop the tombstone. Morgan gets home and checks her phone. It has 6 missed calls from Bella and 4 voice messages. She also sent several texts asking Morgan to call her. Morgan hesitates for a second before calling Bella. She picks up immediately. Oh my god, are you okay? What's happening? Are you home? Talk about the cemetery. I went to the cemetery today. And how did that go? She asked tentatively. It was really hard, but it was nice talking to her, even if she couldn't reply. Do you want to talk about it? Morgan pauses for a moment. When she speaks, it feels as though it's pulling the words from deep within herself. If it's okay, could we talk about Delaney? Of course, Bella says softly. I'll be over in a minute with some tea. Before Morgan can explain how unnecessary that is, Bella is hung up. She arrives soon after, and the two sit and chat about Delaney, longing to the night. It hurts, but it's cathartic. By the time it sees the sun rising outside her window, Morgan feels very slightly better. The immenseness of its loss feels like it could be surmounted one day. The following night, Morgan tosses and turns, trapped in the restless sleep of the living. She dreams that it's finished the monster, laying the final piece, and awakened her. She opens her eyes, and it's a copy of a face she used to know. A face it still loves. Distorted, repeated, and fragmented, almost past recognition. Approach her. Morgan takes a step closer and then another. She feels floaty and unbalanced. Everything is spinning, She opens her mouth to speak, and fear rises, quick and clawing. What would be worse, that the monster really is Delaney, or that she is not? Her glazed gaze digs into Morgan's eyes. She says, "You are selfish to have made me. How could you? How dare you? You inspire only hate in my full and bloody heart." No, 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 no! Morgan wakes with a start, shivering and panting. It curls into herself and doesn't sleep again that night. Morgan hits a hitch with its work. Frustrated, she redoes its calculations and add a month to her estimated timeline. One sunny spring morning, Morgan is making coffee when it notices the tulips in the yard have begun to blossom. She remembers that Corey is quite fond of tulips. Work is more important than tulips. Takes a sip of her coffee and walks back to its lab. Maybe she can ask Corey for some tulip photos later. The work has advanced well since last month's setback. Looking over the range of skin prototypes, Morgan feels good about its progress so far. Morgan's in the middle of working out a spell when her phone rings. It glances at the offending device, weighing how much of a distraction picking it up would be. Morgan silences her phone and returns to the spell. At long last, after 1 month and 1 year of work, Morgan has completed the monster. Morgan steps back to take her in. It looks upon her creation. Her skeleton is bone. Her brain is vine. Her flesh is flesh with blood. Yes, she is truly horrific. A true abomination. It feels. Yet without knowing her, Morgan feels a vast and deep love drowning her. It has poured herself into her, and here she lies, waiting. Cast his final spell to awaken the monster. Morgan casts the last spell, and the monster opens her eyes. She looks upon Morgan, expressionless. "Can you speak?" it asks. She shakes her head softly. She holds out her hand. Morgan takes her hand very gently. She puts her other hand on top of hers. Morgan begins to cry. Time passes. Over the following months, Morgan retreats further and further from the world. It spends all her time with the monster, hoping she'll one day be more than she is. The monster is very kind. Morgan needs to keep reminding itself that it's not the monster's fault. Nothing is her fault. She stays with Morgan and is patient and understanding. She's always there for Morgan, always trying to help. She's everything she wanted. Morgan's friends keep reaching out, trying to make plans, but Morgan pulls itself further and further away. She has the monster now, and she's everything it needs. How could she leave her? And yet... everything about the monster only makes Morgan think of how she's not but a hollow imitation. The monster will never be Delaney. But Morgan will never be alone again. And if Morgan feels hollow, an emptiness that grows inside it each night, she ignores it. Everything is as it should be. The end. Damn. And that wasn't a good ending. Game was developed in Bangdon, Asia. It's hard to speak about developing queer games. Hard to know who to trust with one's words. We test the waters and tread lightly. Queer people have always existed and will never stop existing. They were here on Turtle Island before the settler colonists came. We were here even when not wanted. We don't have a choice. Queerness exists whether we can speak its name or not. The rights of indigenous peoples are being violated. Settler colonialism is and has been actively dismantling their connection to the land and their cultures through historic and ongoing genocide. We encourage settlers to unlearn colonial history, deconstruct their privilege, and learn about indigenous cultures and settler responsibilities. In this way, we learn the truth of the land we live on and reject indigenous erasure and colonial myths. We want to highlight the global land back movement, which aims to return land to indigenous peoples by returning land. Self-governance and environmental stewardship are returned as well. Some of the ideas in land back are represented in a dish with one spoon, wampum. In Toronto, the wampum is peace agreement between the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee, which the land is seen as a dish that we, the spoon, share in a spirit of mutual cooperation. I should look that up to see if I pronounce it right. Haudenosaunee. Haudenosaunee. Yeah, we gotta look up that land back and dish with one spoon movements. Wow. Welcome in, Star. It has been an hour. Back to normal. Let's go again. Let's be Mackenzie this time. Mackenzie has been shown a room for a month. She has not eaten a proper meal. Fumbling for some stumbles from its dark depths with dehydra wobble to her step, fumbling for some scrap paper, fervent ink splattering page after page in unsteady strokes. So the final page of formulas and diagrams. Wallow in despair. No, she says. I'm not certain it can be done. Mackenzie slumps under her stool, resting her forehead against the desk. What can't be done? Ugh! Mackenzie jumps at the sound. Mackenzie picks herself up. Bella leans out the doorway, mixing bowl. Oh, Bella, I'm trying to make something unlike anything I've ever made. Bella continues stirring, waiting. She's played this game before. Make something redemptive. I'm making something redemptive. I'm making a monster. Bella nods, trying to hide her mounting concern. Bella leaves shortly after that, depositing the salad Mackenzie promised to eat onto her work table. Eat it. Mackenzie pauses her work to swallow a few bites of salad. She's not sure if she's eaten anything else today. It's hard to pull herself from the work, but she realizes that she needs the food or she will lack the strength to complete it. After eating more salad, she examines her plans. Creating a living being is exhaustively a complex venture, but Mackenzie is nothing if not tenacious. She pursues a lifeless exile, the same resolve. Nervous system. An inorganic computer brain would grant versatility and durability. It's also probably the most straightforward option. Finding computer parts to use could pose a challenge, though. Mackenzie's never built a supercomputer and equipped it with an adequately sophisticated neural sim before, but she's played around with complex, smaller scope computer projects. And as her teachers used to say, anything is possible with a little or shit ton of magic. It'll take more time than finding suitable computer parts and code bases, but means Mackenzie won't need to compromise on her design. Overall, Mackenzie estimates it should take her 6 months to complete the work. Bella visits again. She really looks around the lab. So how is the, monster coming along? It's going well. I'm making excellent progress on the monster's brain. I see. It's warm out today. How about we go for a walk? You don't need a coat. It's June. Kenzie looks over the closet she was rustling from. June? Mm-hmm. It's probably for the best, Mackenzie leaving the apartment. Kenzie and Bella catch up on small things. Max has developed a spell to remove earwax. Corey's joined a jazz band. Kenzie slowly realizes that she misses her friends. Asks to meet again. Who are you? What concert? Oh, come on. I joined a jazz band? Doing a midsummer performance. Any of this ring a bell? Oh, right, your jazz band. Yes, and that concert you have, of course. Corey says oddly. We're performing July 21st. Here's a ticket. We'll go. Definitely. Sweet, I'll see you then. 21st, Mackenzie arrives at the concert exactly 5 minutes early. Her ticket has an assigned seat, and she's surprised to find that she's in the front row. Bella and Max are already there waiting. They smile when they see Mackenzie approach. Corey was worried you wouldn't show, but I knew you'd make it. Mackenzie was also unsure about making it. I also wasn't sure I'd make it, Mackenzie laughs. But I know this is important to Corey. Well, it's great to see you here, Max says with a smile. The concert is fun. The music is a bit loud at times. Isn't jazz supposed to be soothing? But Mackenzie appreciates its energy. Corey looks like he's having an amazing time. Mackenzie can't remember when Corey started learning the bass. It was during... Maybe Mackenzie will ask Bella about it later. After the show, 3 friends and Mackenzie go back to Max's to celebrate. Mackenzie is surprised to learn Max moved apartments. When did that happen? Maybe she has been a little overly engrossed in her work. Mackenzie promises herself to make more of an effort to spend time with her friends. Work progresses steadily. With each milestone reached, she feels herself growing closer to her creation. Mackenzie knows how she'll think, what will make her feel. She tries not to hope too much about what she'll understand. One morning, Mackenzie is struck by a knock on the door. Standing on her threshold is Lexmi, a friend Mackenzie hasn't seen in more than a year. Yeah, invite her in. Please come in. No need. I just stopped by to see if you're free tonight. I'm showing an art exhibition. I wanted to ask if you can make it. Yeah, of course. We're gonna try to do all the friend things this run. See if that makes the monster better. That sounds really fun. I'd love to come by and see your work. Amazing. Here's the invitation. Hands Mackenzie a small card. She raises an eyebrow. Very fancy, she teases. Lakshmi smiles a bit embarrassed. I'll see you then. Our exhibit is very cool, but not a bit too formal for Mackenzie's tastes. Several artists are being featured. Lakshmi's work is a collection of wire statues that move subtly when they're not being watched. It is gorgeously terrifying. I'm happy to see you outside your lab, Mackenzie says as the night. Abella says as the night winds to an end. See you again? Corey asks. Sure. Absolutely. I'll see you then. She feels both happy and worried to see how much this pleases her friends. Mackenzie spends some time testing the nervous system, watching as inputs are translated to outputs and back. She lays together webs connecting nodes, creating meaning interlinked. She knows with as much certainty as she's had about anything that the monster can awaken. One day Mackenzie looks up from her work to see Abella walking in. She looks at the brain she's almost finished and immediately looks away. She turns her gaze and said to Mackenzie, It's the last warm day of the year. Come to the beach with me? Okay. As long as we stop at my favorite cheese shop on the way, Mackenzie says, getting up from her seat. Deal, Abella replies with a smile. After stopping at the cheese shop to pick up some things to snack on, Mackenzie and Abella walk along the beach. There's a cool breeze coming off the water. After a bit, they find some large flat rocks to sit on. How are you doing, Mackenzie? Shift the focus to Abella instead. Things have been well. I'm a lot more interested in how you're doing, though. Bella launches into a few anecdotes about work and other friends. Mackenzie listens and nods along with a smile. The next month of work is a bit frantic. Mackenzie hit a snag and worked doubly hard to make up for lost time. She's still aiming to be done in 1 month. Mackenzie's working late one night, or is it early one morning when Max comes busting through her door. Hello. I need help with some work that's got your name on it. Explain. With great pain, Mackenzie tears her eyes from the diagram I'm gonna make the best haunted house. So has Max built haunted houses? I thought you were busy curing earwax or something. What? No, that was 6 months ago. I'm working on a haunted house contractor now. Mackenzie's a bit shaken at that. 6 months? A date whose arms you can fall into while you scream? No, wrong. Haunted houses need skeletons. Do you know how to make skeletons? No, that's right, you can make skeletons. Or at least make them move. Actually, I don't know, can you make skeletons move? Look, Max, even if I could help, I'm unbelievably busy right now and can't spare the time. Max's face falls. Okay, no worries then. Hope all your work goes well. He leaves shortly after that. After 5 months, Mackenzie has finally completed the monster's brain. That's a bug. Small thrill flows through her. She steps back and examines her work. Yes, it is definitely something redemptive. But her growing smile falters in the face of a standing thought. Would she have liked it? This is a pointless exercise, Mackenzie tells herself. It doesn't matter if she would have liked it. She'll never see it. The skin. More mechatronics. I think, lore-wise, Mackenzie would have been a scientist before she became a frantic. Hang on. Hang on just a moment. Blech. Hey, Mystique. You took me by surprise. How you doing? Best way to play mechatronics to skin would be to form it with metal and plastic plates. Can you check your notes and realize you're going to need a lot of metal for this? Kinsey scans through her contacts list, quickly identifying a few people she thinks could help. On the third try, she finally connects with someone who knows where she can find what she needs. With the materials, Mackenzie thinks she can complete the metal skin in 2 months. Okay, I just want to stop by and say hi, because we haven't talked in a bit. Yeah, I've been busy. Went on vacation and just doing a shitload of work building up to said vacation, and then when I'm not working, I've just been resting from work so I can go back to work again. Such is the vicious cycle. Oh, she used that picture of Sonia. Corey drops by one November afternoon and deposits a cookie on Mackenzie's desk. You make this? Mackenzie asks. Corey nods and Mackenzie snatches up and begins untying the loose wrapping. There's more where that came from, Corey laughs. Oh? Mackenzie asks between mouthfuls of cookie. We're hanging out at Bella's tonight, and I'm bringing 2 boxes worth. Fall into cookie temptation. Yeah, the vacation was amazing. I got to kiss my girlfriend many times. Gotta go now because your boss needs you? Well, good luck with that. Don't let your boss walk all over you. Is that an invitation? Corey smiles. Do you want the cookies or not? Absolutely, I want the cookies. Corey's smile winds a few notches. I'll see you tonight then. Mackenzie arrives at Bella's apartment that evening. She hesitates for a moment. She hasn't been here since before. She reminds herself that cookies are waiting on the other side of the door and knocks. Bella opens the door with a smile. I'm so glad you made it, she says. Bella's apartment looks the same as Mackenzie remembers. As she walks further in, she sees Corey and Max already settled in the living room. The promised cookies are laid out on the coffee table. Mackenzie spends some time cautiously discussing how things have been. She tries not to say too much about the monster. It's not too hard when she keeps grabbing more cookies. Max eventually suggests starting a movie. Mackenzie glanced at the time. We'll stay for the movie. Yeah, movie cookie time. Mackenzie settles in to rewatch one of Bella's favorite movies. She feels herself relaxing by fragments as each minute passes. Corey and Max argue over the plot holes and continuity errors, while Bella hushes them during her favorite scenes. It all feels so warm and familiar, and it stirs an ache in her heart. There's too much missing from this picture for it to feel complete. But maybe this is what it feels like to pour paint over an old canvas and create something new. Kenzie hits a hitch with her work. Frustrated, she redoes her calculations and add a month her estimated timeline. Before Mackenzie realizes it, the year's over. She gets the invitation to Bella's for a New Year's party. Go to the party. Kenzie arrives at Bella's party in fancy clothes that pinch a little. Bella opens the door with a huge grin and Mackenzie promptly shoves a bottle of champagne in her face. Thank you for inviting me, she says. I know I haven't been a great friend recently. Nonsense! Thank you for coming. The only awkward one, someone who's a friends of a friend of Mackenzie's mentions Selene. Room follows silent briefly as everyone pulls his friend of a friend away. Mackenzie can very clearly hear them having a terse conversation about not mentioning her in Mackenzie's presence. Mackenzie resolutely ignores it. Watching her like she might break into a million pieces. Mackenzie also resolutely ignores this. The room counts down to midnight. Mackenzie finds Bella in the kitchen. She's packing leftovers and loading the dishwasher. Help. Need any help? Oh no, I'm almost done. Did you have a fun night? Yeah. It can be hard sometimes, having fun around so many people. It just reminds me that she's not here. She rubs her face, hiding her expression for a moment. But it was good being here. I'm glad you came anyway. It means a lot to me to have you here. And I'm happy to see you taking a break. Bella pauses for a second. I'm worried about you. It's been more than half a year. And you're still shut up in your lab most days. Worrying about if you're eating, sleeping, it's tiring. I really care about you, and seeing you like this is hard. I know you need time, and I've given you your space and time, but it's clear that things aren't working as they are. Have you talked to anyone about Delaney? Explain it'll be different once the work is done. Sorry I haven't been there, that you're worried about me. But I just need to finish the work. Once it's done, everything can go back to how it was before. We can all catch up and it'll be like I was always around. This isn't healthy, Mackenzie. I understand this is your way of coping, but I'm watching it destroy you. Promise to get help. You're right. I haven't spoken to anyone. I promise I'll talk to someone. Thank you. I'm always here if you need me. I think you should look into talking to a professional. I will. Thanks. After wrapping up her conversation with Abella, Mackenzie chats with a few more friends. Some silly party games are played. Mackenzie finds herself laughing more than she has in a long time. A few hours pass. A few hours after, Mackenzie makes her goodbyes and heads home. It's quite a bit later than she'd expect to be out, but somehow she can't find the energy to be anxious about it. It was nice seeing her friends. The warmth of that feeling follows her home. The work has advanced well since last month's setback. Looking over the range of skin prototypes, Mackenzie feels good about her progress so far. Bella's birthday. Try to put something here last minute. Am I dead, or is this not a call from the renowned hermit Mackenzie Ashford? No, this is your landlord. I'm kicking you out in order to fill your place with rubber ducks. The monarch of humor returns at last! Cries Max. Yes, thank you. Jokes aside, I'm calling out Bella's birthday. Whole event. Kizzy can hear Air smile through the phone. Kizzy has a really enjoyable afternoon with her friends. They play some party games at Corey's, then go see a movie. There are too many aliens and lasers. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you so much for coming. It really means a lot to me. When Mackenzie gets home, the scattered pieces of the monster are waiting for her. Guilt rises, sudden and overwhelming. How could she have been out for so long and just left her like this? She gazes at her part-made form, and as a sinner before her God, promises to do better. And yet, a small part of her starts to wonder if maybe she's already given enough. Finally, after 3 months of work, the monster's flesh is complete. Skirkets. Kenny steps back and takes a look at her work so far. Computer nervous system paired with the metal plate flesh is breathtaking. But Mackenzie notices flaws here and there. The work isn't good enough. She begins to doubt if what she's making will even come close to what she had envisioned. Make everything mecha. Robot girl. Using technology to make the monster's skeleton would work. A skeleton of steel beams and copper wire would be effective and strong. It might even be near indestructible. With enough time and effort, Mackenzie can salvage metal from her old projects and rework it into a skeleton. It will be slower and more work than finding fresh materials to use, but Mackenzie can ensure quality is up to her precise standards. Mackenzie estimates it should take her 5 months to complete. Mackenzie's washing up, some mostly non-caustic chemicals had spilled, when her phone starts ringing. Without thinking much of it, Mackenzie calls Max back. Hey Mackenzie, glad you called back. What's up, Max? I was wondering if you're free this afternoon. I wanted to chat. Sure, come by whenever. I'll be home. Mackenzie's pulled out of her work by a knock at the door. She makes her way over and finds Max holding a large bag. I brought snacks, Max explains. Faye pushes past. Oh, Max uses any pronouns, huh? Cool. Faye pushes past Mackenzie and begins moving papers to make room to set up. Those are organized! Mackenzie grabs the papers from Max's hands and begins putting them away more delicately. Sorry, but hey, I brought your favorite. Max pulls out containers of assorted cheese. Alright, you're forgiven. Hand over the cheese. Max obliges, and the two catch up as they compare cheeses from the selection Max brought. God, Mackenzie's such a white woman for enjoying cheese. Are you trying to offer me cheese? Yes, I am. Why, I'd love some cheese, thank you. After some time, Mackenzie asks, did you have something specific you wanted to talk about? Yes, actually. I appreciate all the effort you've been putting to looking after yourself. I want to make sure you know that. I was really worried for a really long time. It was hard to see you like that. Max smiles, and Mackenzie can see the pained face trying to hide. It's been so nice seeing you more often. I miss you so much. I'm sorry I hurt you. Things were hard for me, but they were hard for you too. Max waves fair hand. I didn't mean to make you apologize. I just wanted to explain that I saw the work you're putting in, and it meant a lot to me. Faye pauses and takes a breath. I don't hold anything you did against you, and I didn't take it personally. I'm just so happy you're doing better now. But she's not who she once was. I am better, Max, but I don't want to mislead you. I'm not the place I used to be. I'm not sure I'll ever be like that again. I understand, Max says quietly. I don't expect you to be. I'm happy with the you that you are now. And I'm happy that you're letting us in and letting us support you where you need it. They share a hug, and Mackenzie is definitely not crying at all as they finish the last of the cheese. Finally, Max gets up with a smile. This was so nice. Thanks for having me over. Thank you for all the cheeses. My pleasure. See you again soon? Mackenzie smiles. Definitely. Mackenzie's into the second month of her work when she hits a snag. The metal beam bones aren't connecting as planned. Hey Bella, what's up? Hi, is this an alright time? I want to revisit our conversation about talking to someone for help. Yeah, she really does. I'm listening. Thank you. I found someone I think would be really great for you. I'm just asking you to give him a try. One session, Mackenzie concedes. She knows it'll make Abella happy. A week later, Mackenzie shows up at a therapist's office. She talks to the therapist about the work. She doesn't mention Delaney. It goes okay. Mackenzie feels a little better by the end of it, but she's a bit stressed about the time she's losing that could be spent working. At the end of the session, the receptionist asks if she'd like to book another one. That does raise a good point. How much is this costing me? And we're gonna try to do a good route. Kenzie books another session for the following week. After a week of struggling with the new synthesized alloy, Mackenzie finally gets part of the skeleton working to her satisfaction. She turns to share the breakthrough with... But the lab is empty. Mackenzie is still alone. On April 2nd, Mackenzie packs a small bag. She includes water, a candy bar, an umbrella, her keys, and her wallet. Alright, let's go to Delaney's grave again. The walk to the cemetery is long, but Mackenzie doesn't mind it. When she gets there, she realizes she doesn't know where to go. She's never been before. After a little while of meandering, she finds a groundskeeper who points in the right direction. Soon after that, she finds the grave. Delaney's grave. Hi, Delaney. I'm doing okay. I'm working on a really cool project. I also started therapy recently. I told my therapist about you. It kind of helped to talk about you with someone who didn't know you. They didn't judge me or anything. That was nice. They even mentioned some things I can do when missing you hurts too much. I've been trying to do the exercises. They help. Our friends have been working really hard to drag me out to do things besides work. It was a bit frustrating at first, but I think I appreciate it. They really care about me. I'm trying to be a better friend to them. When you died, it was like everything that mattered left with you. I couldn't watch any of my favorite movies because all I could remember was watching them with you. And I remember you, then I would remember you were gone, and everything would hurt all over again. Do you know how many times I picked up the phone to call you, only to remember there was no one to answer? You died a year ago, but it still hurts as much as if it happened yesterday. It was so hard without you. It's still hard now. You were so much more to me than just a friend. I felt like you fit so well into my life. I miss you deeply. I just want you to come back. I know that can never happen. Doesn't stop me from wanting it. I'm half-made again. I'm weak and faulty without you. You made me better. And now I'm lost. I'm so mad at you for dying. I know it wasn't your fault. But I can't believe you left me here all alone. It hurts so much. And it feels like when I'm working, it's the only time I don't feel a knife twisting into my chest. I hate you for leaving me. But I love you so much. The work that I'm doing, I'm building a monster. It's for you. I know. I know it won't be you. It probably won't be anything like you. But when you died, it felt like you took a part of me with you. I'm trying to get that piece back. And I know this monster won't be able to do that. But in my heart, I feel like it could. The monster will be redemptive. And it's all for you. I hope you hate it. Mackenzie wipes at her tears and gets up. She rummages in her bag, pulling out the candy bar and leaving it on top of the tombstone. Mackenzie hesitates for a second before calling Abella. Oh my god, are you okay? What's happening? Are you home? I went to the cemetery today. And how'd that go? It was really hard, but it was nice talking to her, even if she couldn't reply. Do you want to talk about it? It feels as if she's pulling the words from deep within her. If it's okay, could we talk about Delaney? Of course. I'll be over in a minute with some tea. Chat with Delaney long to the night. It hurts, but it is cathartic. By the time she sees the sun rising, Kenzie feels very slightly better. The following night, Mackenzie tosses and turns, trapped in the restless sleep of the living. Jim's eyes, and it's a copy of a copy of a copy of a face she used to know. A face she still loves. Distorted, repeated, and fragmented, almost past recognition. Hello, Mackenzie says. I've been waiting for you. She opens her mouth to speak, and fear rises, quick and clawing. What would be worse? That the monster really is Delaney, or that she is not? Her glazed gaze digs into Mackenzie's eyes. She says, You are selfish to have made me. How could you? How dare you? You inspire only hate in my lifeless metal heart. Mackenzie wakes with a start, shivering and panting. She curls into herself and doesn't sleep again that night. There are 3 months left in building the metal skeleton. Kenzie feels that she's on a roll. All the theories actualizing with an ease that is relieving, unexpected, and entirely pleasing. She married Corey's quite fond of tulips. Kenzie calls up Corey. He picks up immediately. Is everything okay? Yeah, I just want to know if you'd like to go see tulips with me. Are you serious? Yes, I'd absolutely die to go see tulips with you. I'll pick you up in 20 minutes. Before Mackenzie has a chance to say anything else, Corey hangs up. As promised, Corey shows up 20 minutes later. He plays folk rock over the drive to the tulip farm. The flowers are stunning, lined in rows of solid colors. They fill the eye, creating a world of blooms. Corey and Mackenzie take a few photos and pick a couple tulips to take home with them. As they walk back to the car, Corey puts a hand on Mackenzie's shoulder. I really appreciate you calling and inviting me out. Oh, it was nothing. I had a really great time today. Thank you for coming here with me. Corey smiles. I hope I see you again soon. Mackenzie feels energized in a way she hasn't in a long time. The work goes easier, ideas rising when needed. Focus readily pulled from an endless well. Kenzie's in the middle of working out a spell when her phone rings. She glances at the offending device. Hello? Hey, Mackenzie. It's Luxmy's voice. I know it's been a while, and this is real last minute, but are you free today? Yeah, we can make time for them. Yeah, I've got time. You know, I'm realizing something. This is essentially a different depression quest. This is a different depression quest. And I don't say that as a bad thing. Lakshmi meets Mackenzie at a park that she's visited before, but not in a long while. She helps her carry easels, canvases, and paint from her car. She has a spot in mind to set up, the top of a small hill overlooking a pond on one side and a small clump of trees on the other. As Lakshmi sets up the easels, nerves begin to gather in Mackenzie's chest. Ask if she can just watch. Is it cool if I just watch? I'm not really in a painting mood. Of course, no worries, Lakshmi says. But I would recommend trying it just a little, even if you have nothing in mind. It can be a fun tactile experience. We'll try. Mackenzie tentatively dips a brush into some paint and begins moving it across the canvas. At first, she focuses on feeling the brush stutter and slide across the surface, but soon she tries to imitate things she sees. Painting ends up looking like a jumbled mess of green and blue, but Mackenzie kinda likes it. Lakshmi walks over to take a look, smiling hugely. Looks great, she says. Mackenzie thinks she's just being nice, but it still makes her smile. It really is quite a bad painting. She shows her how to wash the brushes. Mackenzie sneaks a peek at her painting as they put them away. Lakshmi has painted a night sky reflected in a pond. Fish jump from its water and leaves float along its surface. Along the edge of the pond are piles of bones. It looks nothing like the park. Bones, huh? Lakshmi casts a spell that Mackenzie doesn't entirely follow, and the water begins to ripple very subtly. She winks at her. Wow, Lakshmi, that's incredible. She smiles. Thank you. It comes with years of practice. She was never good at accepting compliments. Mackenzie's glad that some things haven't changed. Mackenzie helps pack up the easels and carry them and the paintings back to Lakshmi's car. She drops her back home, and they say goodbye with a wave. At long last, after 1 month and 1 year of work, Mackenzie's completed the monster. Mackenzie steps back to take her in. She looks upon her creation. Her skeleton is metal beam, her brain is computer, her flesh is metal plate. Yes, she is truly redemptive. She too is an abomination. She feels Without yet knowing her, Mackenzie feels a vast and deep love drowning her. She has poured herself into her, and here she lies waiting. Cast the final spell. Mackenzie casts the last spell, and the monster opens her eyes. She looks upon Mackenzie, expressionless. Can you speak? She asks. She shakes her head softly. She holds out her hand. Aww. I figure there's gonna be the same. Stop here, before it may be too late. Mackenzie pauses, hesitating before the final spell. Creating life is a large responsibility. It introduces moral quandaries she has been ignoring up till now. No sin is too great when in service to her work. She's already come this far. It would be a waste not to take the final step. But does Mackenzie really need the monster? Mackenzie has friends. Good friends who are there for her when she needs them. But what about Delaney? Wouldn't leaving everything in this undone sorry state be betraying Delaney? Abandoning her? And yet she knows, she of all people wouldn't want this. Finish it, fool. Let her go. As Mackenzie gives up on completing the monster, she feels herself letting Delaney go. It's scary and frustrating. Her heart hurts. The phone rings for exactly 18 seconds. Mackenzie knows because she counts them. Mackenzie? Hey, Abella. Mackenzie pauses for a moment. I need to talk to you about the monster. Bella promises to be over soon and Mackenzie sits down on the floor. She knows it'll be okay. She has friends who love her. She won't be alone soon.